Are you looking for a recording platform that is reliable, high quality, and does distance recordings seamlessly? You're looking for Riverside FM. We're going to do a demo and walkthrough of the platform on this video. You know, there are a lot of great distance recording platforms out there that are not Zoom. Zoom has terrible audio. You don't want to use Zoom for podcasting or video recordings. You should use one of the others. There's Squadcast, there's Clean Feed, there's Zencaster. But in this video, I'm going to focus on Riverside. And full transparency here, I am an affiliate for Riverside. But it's not because Riverside gives me money for sending you there, though they do. It's because I believe in Riverside. It's a great platform. And therefore, I became an affiliate so that I can promote it enthusiastically and get a little bit of compensation in return. So we're going to dive into Riverside. I'm going to get out of the way here and show you how it looks. Okay, here we are diving into the Riverside platform. I want you to see a few things before we actually log in. I want to go to the pricing and show you the great deal that is. The basic is $7.50 a month for up to 2 hours of recording. And that is amazing. That is really a great deal. The standard is up to 5 hours per month, $15 a month. Still an amazing day. And you're recording studio quality audio and video, getting separate audio tracks, separate video tracks, can live stream with the software, and can accept live call-ins. Now look at that. Now here's the Pro plan. This is their most popular, and it is the one that I use. You can record 15 hours per month, $24 a month. Now think about what you spend $24 on every month and compare it to this. This is a no-brainer if you're seriously producing content that includes connecting with people over a distance. Now look what this includes. Same thing, separate this, separate that, live call-ins, includes transcriptions. This is a big deal because their transcriptions come back to you to help you build show notes, YouTube descriptions, blog posts, all kinds of repurposing of content that you can use by doing this platform. All right, now that's enough of that. Let's log in. I am going to get my credentials out. And what I'm doing here is I am using an account of one of my clients, Ryan Payne, who does a show called Pain Points of Wealth. And they do a podcast and a video channel. I would encourage you to check them out. They are doing some great things. Now, what you're able to do is create studios, first of all. So think of this as like different locations, different recording rooms that you can invite people into. And so look right here. They've set up a studio for Pain Points of Wealth. Let's create another one here and say demo studio for YouTube video. Okay. You can choose if it's audio and video or audio only. And then you can set up the studio for later or enter it now. Let's just set it up for later and let me show you a few things. Okay. It's going to enable you to create that, okay, as a studio. So get back to the dashboard here, studios, and here's my demo studio for YouTube video. All right. Now, if I want to invite people to that studio, I click on this invite thing and put what kind of person they are. Are they audience, guest, producer? Now check that out. You can have audience members who are not being recorded, but they can watch. Isn't that cool? Then the guest and the producer would be someone else who's coming on to help run the bells and whistles of the thing. All right, let's just say I'm doing a guest here. I just have to copy that link and send it to them. I can send it via text, via email, via messenger, whatever. You want to make sure they are on a good recording as well. You want to make sure that they are having a good microphone, all that good best practice stuff for getting a good recording. So you copy that link, says it's copied, and then you send it. All right. And then they can come into this studio at any time. And if you're there, you can record. But what you're going to want to do, obviously, is tell them the time and the date. Remember your time zone, send them that link. They join you in that studio at that time. I love this because you have one link that you can send to people for a specific purpose that is always ready. You don't have to get a new link for every person. So if you're automating an email out to your guests or something like that, and you're telling them, meet me here at the time, they really can meet you there at the time. It's really cool. Now, what I'm going to do is go into the studio. So go to the studio. It's going to open that up for me, and it's going to want me to check my camera and my mic. Okay, so right over here on the right-hand side, I get to choose what is the microphone that I want to use. This is the one that I have selected right now, my Samson Q9U. It's this guy right here. Great microphone. I get to choose the camera that I want. Now I have this one, but I also have one down here on my computer. All right. This is the one I want because it is the best one. And then what output do I want? And that means headphones. All right. Right now, it's these earbuds that I have in is this second output. But look, I've got lots of other ones. I can choose whichever one I want. And so before you go into this room, you want to check all this, make sure it's right. You put your name here. Obviously, you can put anything. And then it's asking you 2 questions. I am not using headphones. I am using headphones. You should always be using headphones. There's reasons for that. Just trust me and do it. I am using headphones, I'm going to say. And so it reshuffles something over here for that reason. I don't know exactly what it does, but now I can join the studio. And I'm joining as the host. All right. Now, here is me over here. Other people are going to show up over here, and it'll show other windows if there's more than one person. But here it gives me another option to invite people. And again, I can choose guest, audience, or producer. And I could copy that link if I want to do that. Now, let's look at what's inside of here. Okay. Right up here, it's showing me the name of the studio that I'm in. Here, it is showing me how many people are on the call at the moment, just one because it's me. Here's another option to invite people. So mid-call, if we decide we want to pull in Joe Schmo, who's an expert in blah, 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 then we can send an invite to Joe Schmo via text or something and see if he can join us. All right, so I can invite people midstream. Okay, right over here, it's got some interesting buttons. This is your recording status. So this is like a little light that comes on when you are actually recording. This is showing your upload status. So it's showing if your files are progressively uploading in the background while you're having a conversation or not. I love it because sometimes you don't know on some platforms. That's really cool. It's telling you what's going on. Now, I'm not really sure what this R over here is, but it's there. Just notice that. Now, over here, this is something you should take advantage of for the sake of file management, okay? Untitled recording tells you nothing. And if you come into this studio over and over and record sessions, and they're all called untitled recording, you're going to run into some issues. So before you start, before your guest comes on, hit this edit button and rename it, okay? So I'm going to say 11/12/21 session for YouTube demo, all right? And then I'm going to hit save, and that is my file names. All my file names, the separate ones I get for me, for the guest, for anything like that, all the separate files are going to have that at the beginning and then say, probably in this case, my name after it, or someone else's name if they were in the call, okay? And look, here again, I can invite people, and I'm able to look at audio and video recording types. So I can see I'm doing 1080p HD video, live quality, which means this quality right over here for when my friend and I or whoever are talking on the platform is 480p. Okay, and that's just to save on bandwidth to make the connection more smooth. But remember, what you see over here, or should I say over here, wherever you are seeing, what you see right there on the Riverside screen is not what's going to be your video recording. It's going to be high def because it's recording you in your browser and the other person in their browser and the other person in their browser. See, it's recording everyone locally. And then it's going to sync those together and you're going to be able to download them individually. That is one of the beauties of Riverside. All right. Now it's doing 24 frames per second at 44.1 kilohertz. This is audio. This is frame rate of the video. This is your video quality. This is your live quality. Okay. And here you can click mute and look at that. Look at that. We muted everything inside there, but you can unmute it as well. Now, you notice here is my little box showing all the stuff about me. I can click on it. I can adjust my audio so that it doesn't go up into the higher sessions, or I can move it back up and just let it be natural. Now, while you're in the call, you can click this button and mute yourself, okay? So that if you have to cough, if someone comes in the room, if your dog's barking, you can mute yourself while the other people are talking and keep that from getting into the recording. Now, notice this drop down right here. You can click on it, and it's going to enable you to see some things about your specific setup, okay? It's going to show your input and your output. So here's my webcam that I'm using. Here's my microphone. It tells me which one. Here's what audio I'm listening on. Now, let me tell you why this is good to know. Because as a host, you want to be able to help your guest get the best audio, the best quality possible. And they may not be real tech savvy, or they just maybe are making a mistake and they don't realize they don't have the right microphone connected. Okay, if you hear something in your pre-recording conversation where they don't sound right, you need to stop, come over here to their box, and click on the little drop down and look and see what microphone they're using. And you can tell them, hey, Joe, it shows me that you're using your laptop microphone. That's what Riverside is telling me. So is there a way there? There should be a way that you can change that to your particular microphone that you want to use. This one that's right up in front of your face. Okay. And they're able to make the change right there. If they're not wearing headphones, get them to wear headphones. Tell them how to find it in their selector. See, you're able to control the quality of your guest audio tremendously just because you know what they're actually plugged into and what they're not. Okay. Now there's a couple of other things down here. Here's one: turn echo cancellation on. Now that sounds like a good thing, but it's generally not a good thing for this kind of recording. And let me explain it to you. Echo cancellation means if I were not using earbuds, like I have my earbuds totally unplugged from the computer, and the sound of your voice on the other side of this recording is coming out my speakers right here toward me, toward my ears, which are here and here, so I can hear what you're saying. What else is right here near my ears? My microphone. So your voice is going to come out into my microphone. It's going to start creating this kind of an echo chamber sort of a thing where it gets really weird after a while. This echo cancellation will handle that to a degree. So if you do have a guest who doesn't have earbuds, doesn't have headphones, and cannot get them, it's your call, first of all, whether you do that recording. I typically won't even do the recording. But if you decide to, you want to come in here on their channel and turn on echo cancellation. All right? Just keep that in mind. That's what that is. All right. And then down here, preview your recording. Okay. So this is going to show you just a preview. I don't really understand why it's needed or why it's important. This is pretty much the same thing. So I'm going to turn that off. Oh, and see, it moves. How nice. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to click off of it. And then we have your main controls down here. Now you can come into the settings at any time, change your camera, change your microphone, change your earbuds. All right. You can guide your guest in how to do that as well if you notice they're not using the right equipment. Here's another option for echo cancellation. My assumption, because this is over here in the settings, is that this is for the entire recording, not just an individual channel. All right. So I love that it's got the individual channels. And then here also is this mirror video. Let me show you what that does. Okay. Because this is my right hand. But I don't know if you're seeing it on the right side of your video or the left side of your video. Well, I'm going to go down here and turn on mirror video. And here is my right hand. So if you have a recording going on where it's important that the text in the background or something is able to be read properly, you want to play with this mirror video thing to make sure you're turned the proper way. Does that make sense? All right, you go on down and here's your name. You can look at general settings for the recording studio, and it's this studio only. Your studio is public because you have a shared link that you're using. You can make it private. And you also can turn on a waiting room so that people who come into this studio will wait, and it will tell them, wait until the host admits you, wait until the host admits you, so they don't get into the studio before you do. You also can do recordings of live calls, and you can change that from 240p to 480p. Okay, so you have some settings there for recording. Okay, you can have it record audio and video or audio only. If you're looking to get a high quality audio recording and don't really care about the video, switch it over to audio only because you'll save bandwidth going over the internet and you will get better quality on that call, guaranteed. Video, you can choose 480p, 720p, 1080p HD, and 2160p 4K. You can go up to 4K on this baby. Isn't that cool? And then separate tracks for internet recordings. So read what this says. I'm going to zoom in on this for you for a minute. It says, when enabled, separate files are created for each participant's internet recording. That means what's going across the internet, okay? This includes any screen shares that occur during recording. Internet recordings are lower in quality than local recordings. So think of it this way. By default, Riverside is recording everything locally, which means each person's content in the location where they are, and then it syncs it to Riverside and you get to download it. This is for the internet recordings, which are kind of backup recordings, okay? You can click this so that the internet recordings get separate tracks, That's important if you want that in your backup. All right. And then audio sample rate, 44.1 kilohertz is what you always need. And then noise suppression. Read this one. We're going to zoom in on it as well. It says remove background noises such as AC fans, heaters, and other ambient sounds. This does not affect clicks, pops, and other transient sounds, meaning things coming out of your noise, it's temporary things. It's more that dull noise in the back. All right. So keep that in mind. You can turn this guy on. In fact, I'm going to turn that on just because that sounds like a good idea. Now let's look over here on live stream. You can set this up to stream to YouTube, and you have to give it the information to stream to, your stream URL and your stream key. You can stream this on Twitter, same thing. Stream it on Facebook, same thing. Stream it on Twitch, same thing. Stream it on LinkedIn, same thing. And then some custom service. So you can add the information to some other streaming service so that you can come into Riverside and get a clean recording while you're streaming live into some other service. That's what all this streaming stuff is about. It's great, great support. Now let's look at the advanced settings. Your data usage. Upload control is a beta feature. And let's zoom in on this so you can see what it says. It says, control the uploading behavior of your participants. Auto means participants upload their recordings automatically depending on their internet speed. Okay, so it may be happening in the background if they've got a high enough internet connection. Manual means the hosts and producers control when the content is being uploaded. So in a situation like that, you might do that if you have bad connections for the call. If one person has a bad connection, the other doesn't. You may just put this on manual. So you can click it right here, go to manual, and look, it saves the settings automatically every time you click something. I love that. And then at the end of the call, you'll have to ensure everybody stays on the call until you're able to manually upload all of that information and make sure you've got it all. And I'm going to put it on audio. That's just the best way. And then you can delete this entire studio. Now you remember at the beginning, I made the demo studio for YouTube video. That's the studio it's talking about. It's not talking about your whole Riverside account. Okay. So let's close out the settings and then let's look at your in-session settings. Okay. The screen, it's going to let you share your screen. So that's what that button means. So I could choose this and say share, and look what's going to show up here in the recording. It's going to be my computer screen. Okay. Then at any time, I can turn that off. My assumption is that guests can probably do this as well, but we'll have to see. You can also tick a box here to share the system audio while you're doing this. So if I play a video, for example, or I play a song and my Windows, because I'm using a Windows computer, my Windows drivers are playing that song, you would hear that music on the recording, just like you would anywhere else. That is super cool, isn't it? All right. So then here is the microphone. Again, it's showing my default microphone. If I click this during the recording, it's going to mute me. So be sure that you understand that. Sometimes you're muted. See, trying to talk, hold spacebar to temporarily unmute. See, and so I can hold the spacebar temporarily. It's on, and you see it says mic is temporarily on. And then when I let go of it, that goes away and it's back to mute. Okay, so if you're needing something like that, it's a pretty cool function. Over here's the speaker, so it's showing me what I'm listening to this recording session on, again. And then cameras, same thing. You can even disable your camera if you want to. Say you're on a call and recording and, your kid runs in their underwear. Well, you can disable that camera real quick and your kid in their underwear is not being seen. And then I can re-enable that camera. Now, you can also start your recording, obviously. Before you begin, you want to start. So I'm going to do that. I'm starting it. It's got a 6-second countdown, as you can see here. And I'm going to let it record a little bit so that we have something then to play with. You notice up here, the recording session began, and it's showing me my uploading status. So this is really cool. I imagine the uploading status is pretty quick. Yeah, look at that, 86%, 56%, 85%. So it's constantly uploading while I'm on the call. That is super cool. That is a great feature that Riverside has built in. I really feel like Riverside is maybe the premier platform here, even though they're brand new to the space. All right, so now I'm going to pretend that we finished this recording and someone else was here. We were talking back and forth. I'm going to hit stop. Okay, that stops the recording. And there you saw for a moment, it said, please keep this page open. It's reminding me that things are uploading and I need to keep this page open until they are. And then it says you can close the page now, which means you can hang up if you want to. All right, now that is super cool. It's warning you not to lose your recordings. If I start the recording again, let's see what happens. It's going to give me the countdown again. It's getting ready to upload again. And then after the 1, here I am live recording again, a second recording on this YouTube channel demo for Riverside. And it's giving my upload status again. And I'm going to stop again. Now watch. It says, please keep the page open. You can still hang up or reload. There you go. Close the page now. Okay. So now I'm going to hang up. And for me as the host, it's not going to kick me out of Riverside. It's going to take me back to my dashboard. See, and I'm leaving the call or ending the meeting for all. I'm just going to end it for everybody. It's saying, are you sure? Yes. Let's end the call. Now notice you're ending the call. And it gives you an option to share this with the world. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to go to LinkedIn. I'm going to let it pop up. It's pulling in my LinkedIn account because I'm already set up on LinkedIn. So I'm going to share it in a post. And I'm going to say, remote recording these days is pretty amazing. I just recorded a YouTube demo about how to use Riverside FM, one of the premier, if I can spell it, recording platforms out there. High def, video and audio, separate tracks, live streaming, all kinds of goodies. If you want to check out Riverside, man, if I could spell it'd be great. Here is my affiliate link. And then I'm going to go grab my affiliate link real quick. And I'm going to drop that affiliate link right in here. And then I'm going to put in a few hashtags. Let's see. I have a little thing that will automatically drop in some hashtags for me. So there we go. And then I'm going to post it. So look at that. It gave me the option to share directly after being a part of the recording. So I close that. That's all done. I can rate my experience, blah, blah, blah. Tell them this was seamless, fun, and exciting. And I got to spell seamless correctly. Send feedback. There we go. Okay, and I could tweet that if I want. See, they're really giving you the opportunity to do a lot. So I can view my recordings here on the right-hand side. Notice I opened a new tab, and it's showing me inside the studio that I created these two options. Now, here's the first one I recorded. Remember how I named it 11/12/21 session for YouTube demo? The second recording I didn't name because I was already in the studio. And so do I have an option to rename it now? I think I probably will. Let's go over here, download it, blah, 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 blah. No, I don't think I have an opportunity to rename it right now. Does this work? Does this work? Yeah, it does. So that's my opportunity to rename it right there. Looks like it's, maybe it didn't take because I had a question mark in there. Does this work? I hit enter. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. This? I'm hitting enter. I don't know how to save it there. Well, that's probably user error. Yeah, there it went. It took it. So you notice here, when you have your recordings, you got tabs up here, studio settings, recordings, and Magic Editor projects. So we'll get to that in a moment. So I can come over here and download the WAV, which is an audio file. I can download the MP4, which is a video file. Or I can download the internet recordings. Remember, we talked about that. That's a lower quality recording. I can do any of those. Now, if I did a screen recording, it's going to have a file for that. If I did a guest, there's going to be files for them for each of these recordings that I made. So keep that in mind. All right. So I'm going to click on MP4 just to download it. I want it to come up and show you. See, it's got my name at the beginning and then the session name that I described. So same thing on the WAV. It's going to have my name at the beginning. And if you had a guest that was listed here and you download theirs, it would put the guest name as well. And I think, because I've done this before, that if there's 2 people or more here, there is a button where you can download all of them at once. And it's going to zip them into a zip folder so you can download them faster. So you have to unzip it once you get it and get all your recordings. So I am going to go back to go to Recording Studio. But before I do that, notice, zoom in on this for a second. It says, did your guests leave the session before finishing the upload? Send them to this link, and you can copy it right there, and they'll be able to finish uploading. So isn't that cool? Riverside connects them to the session they were in after they've already left and connects to their computer and pulls the recording from their computer that it was in the process of uploading. That is super cool. I love that. So let's go back to the recording studio, and we've come full circle. All right. We're right back to where we could start a new session in this particular studio. Now I'm going to go back to the dashboard instead. And here we are. That's Riverside. I love Riverside. I think this is a great platform. I'm excited to use it, and I'm excited to see what they develop next. Now, again, this is in the account for my client, Ryan Payne. This is Pain Points of Wealth podcast. I want you to go check it out. If you're looking for information about what's going on in the financial markets, what the prognosticators are saying, and why it's a bunch of junk a lot of times, Ryan, his dad, his brother, they have a great, very entertaining podcast and video show. Go check it out. Thanks for watching. If you want to check out Riverside, remember, got my affiliate link below in the episode description. Are you looking for a distance recording platform for your podcast or other platforms?